Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County District Library and the Guiding Ohio Online Grant. This week we're going to be looking at 5 Google Docs and tips that you might find helpful and useful as you're using Google Docs. So I've got a screen back here behind with the 5 shortcuts that we are going to be looking at. The first one is docs.new. When you are in Google, you would need to be logged into your Google account. When you are in your Google account, you have the option, close this up here, over here on the slide first, you have the option here to go in, and you can always go into your account, and you can go under file and make new, whatever. But you also can simply click a tab, make a new tab here, and if I type in docs.new, what happens is it just automatically opens up a blank document. So I could not have to go through any of the steps in terms of making a new document. If I want to go straight to a blank document here, I can do that. We can do the same thing with sheets or with slides. If I type in sheets.new and hit return, it's automatically going to open up a blank sheet. Same thing with slides. So that is the first tip that can be helpful and save you time. The second is with Scribble. If you want to add your signature, you can go under Insert to Drawing and New. And when you do that, then the options come across the top here, and you're going to want to use the line option. And here you go to the down arrow, would go to Scribble, and you would simply start to write your signature. And again, this sometimes pops up in terms of it syncing and making changes. It's Google talking to it's not talking well back and forth to itself. So I'm just going to try one more time here. I'm going to go to Line and Scribble, and we'll try just one more. And I go Save and Close, and then notice now what happens is this is my scribbled signature. This is a factor in terms of what type of device you're on, obviously, and how in terms of moving your mouse and how easily you can scribble or write your signature. So the third option is with word count. So when you are in a document and you maybe need to keep track of the amount of words and characters and such that you're using, if you go to Tools and you go to Word Count, this option appears right here in terms of being able to display your word count. So if you have that checked, then you're going to be able to see the word count and know where you are at with that. The fourth option here is to revert to an earlier version. If you are working in Google Docs or Sheets or Slides, any of those, you can actually work with other people, and maybe there will be changes made that you might want to go back and go back to an earlier version. If you go under File and then you were to go down to Version History, you can see your version history will pop up over here on the side, and you can actually click here and make changes based upon where you were at in terms of the different time, and you could actually change to an earlier version if you would choose to. And notice too, you also see who has made all of those changes. So if I had this document being shared with someone else, then I would be able to see that, oh, it was, Sally maybe, or Johnny who had made those changes. So I'm going to go back here to my screen that we are working on, leave it where it was at, and then the final option is how you can have a word. So if I were to highlight, let's say highlight this word here, for example, and I do a Control and Shift Y. Control Shift Y will then pull up, let's see, pull up here on the side. Command Shift Y, and depending on which type of device you're on, it will pop up and it will tell you, bring up a dictionary, and it will tell you then what the type of word is, and then give you an explanation in the dictionary of that. So those are the 5 tips that can be helpful and can save you time when you are doing anything with Google Docs. Next week, we're going to take a look at Google Sheets and what you can use and do there as time-saving tips. Hope everyone has a great week.